Good Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Tuesday. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, being part of my conversation with actor Michael Jai White. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Tuesday headlines. In national news, wildfires rage as U.S. West grapples with heat wave and drought. Firefighters were working in extreme temperatures across the U.S. West and struggling to contain wildfires, the largest burning in California and Oregon, as another heat wave baked the region, straining power grids. The largest wildfire of the year in California, the Betworth Complex, was raging along the Nevada state line and has burned about 140 square miles as of Monday morning, and state regulators asked consumers to voluntarily conserve as much electricity as possible to avoid any outages starting yesterday afternoon. In Oregon, the bootleg fire exploded to 240 square miles as it raced through heavy timber in the national parks. The fire disrupted service on 3 transmission lines, providing up to 55 megawatts of electricity to neighboring California. A wildfire in southeast Washington grew to almost 60 square miles, while in Idaho, Governor Brad Little has mobilized the National Guard to help fight fires sparked after lightning storms swept across the drought-stricken region. The blazes come as the West is in the midst of a second extreme heat wave within just a few weeks, and as the entire region is suffering from one of the worst droughts in recent history. Extreme heat warnings in California were finally expected to expire last night. In more national news, Biden to talk crime with city police leaders nationwide. President Joe Biden will host New York City's Democratic mayoral candidate and other city and law enforcement leaders from around the country to talk about reducing crime. Eric Adams, Brooklyn Borough President and the likely next mayor of New York, plus Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser and the San Jose, California Mayor were among those expected to attend the meeting on Monday, according to the White House. Biden was also hosting the Memphis Police Chief, the Lieutenant of Newark, New Jersey, and Police Chief of Wilmington, Delaware Police Department. Shootings and killings are up around the nation, with local politicians and police struggling to maintain the violence that has ballooned since the coronavirus pandemic. But there is a continued push for police reform, revived nationwide after the death of George Floyd, and Biden is trying to work on both simultaneously. The president recently announced new efforts to stem the tide of violence, but the federal government is limited in what it can do to help localities reduce the spike. His plan focuses on providing funding to cities that need more police, offering community support, and cracking down on gun violence and the supplying of illegal firearms. In international news, police investigate racist abuse of 3 England players. British police opened investigations Monday into the racist abuse of 3 black players who failed to score penalties in England's shootout loss to Italy in the European Championship final. The Metropolitan Police condemned the unacceptable abuse and said they were investigating the offensive and racist social media posts published soon after Italy won Sunday's shootout 3-2 following a 1-1 draw. All 3 players targeted were part of a young England squad that has been widely praised for its diversity and social conscience. The abuse was widely condemned, with Prince William, the president of the English Football Association, saying he was sickened by the racism aimed at the England players. In business news, stock indexes notch more records ahead of earnings report. Major stock indexes notched more record highs on Wall Street Monday as investors look ahead to a wave of earnings reports from big U.S. companies coming out this week. Major banks get things started on today as J.P. Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs put out their results for the 3 months ended in June. A handful of other big companies also report this week, including Delta Airlines, Pepsi-Cola, and United Health Group. The S&P 500 rose 0.3%, as the Nasdaq Composite rose 0.2%. Small company stocks lagged the rest of the market. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note rose to 1.37%. And finally, in entertainment news, Cedric the Entertainer to host live Emmy Awards ceremony. Cedric the Entertainer will host the Emmy Awards in September as the ceremony returns to a live telecast after last year's pandemic-forced virtual event. There will be a limited audience of nominees and guests at the Microsoft Theater for the September 19th show, CBS and the TV Academy said on Monday. Contenders for the 73rd Primetime Emmys will be announced virtually today, streaming live on Emmys.com. Among the binge-worthy shows that kept viewers company during the COVID-19 pandemic and are considered frontrunners for nominations, The Crown, Ted Lasso, The Mandalorian, and Bridgerton. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's our time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, take it away.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Overcome limiting behaviors. Are you struggling with feelings of lack, insignificance, irritation, or any other negative feelings? You may not even realize you are laboring under these negative self-perceptions because they exist beyond your level of conscious awareness. Take time to honestly assess yourself and your circumstances. Become aware of limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging behavior. Disregard all fears about your self-worth or your abilities. Embrace nurturing beliefs in order to free yourself and to feel happy, purposeful, and fulfilled. Today, replace feelings of inadequacy with a sense of empowerment as you remember you are a perfect child of God and the universe. And always remember to enjoy the day.
Actor Michael Jai White is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight right here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Actor Michael Jai White joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about his extraordinary career and what it's been like for him to do work that he loves. Here's a bit of our conversation.
But you've been in this unique position, Michael, of being able to do what you love, not only in front of the camera, but also in martial arts. What has that been like for you, Michael, to take your passions and to be able to share them with all of us?
Well, I mean, I'm blessed behind it because, I get a chance to do what's in my heart. And so, but I felt blessed early on because there was a time where I learned that I was following my dream. And once I learned that piece of information, I felt like, okay, I've already won. Everything else to me is just, it's gravy, So that's my attitude going forward. And no matter what, I'm going to continue to try to just do my best.
You've been able to reach people who enjoy, the dramas, enjoy the comedies, enjoy the action. How does that feel to have this cross-section of support from so many different arenas you've been a part of?
It feels great. I guess I keep moving forward, and I don't really reflect too much on it. I know it's a good thing.
Gotcha.
But I so much that I want to accomplish that I'm not very reflective a lot of the time.
Talk to us about that project and what it's been like for you to see the way that, especially during the pandemic, people have been responding to it.
Well, I'm finally getting the chance to play characters that are closer to myself. I understand you have to pay the dues and, play characters that sometimes, paint you a certain way. There were people that used to be just frightened of me because I played a lot of these rough characters, and friends of friends would say, "Oh, I saw Mike, but I didn't want to go up to him because, I'm kind of scared." I'm like, no. And my friends are like, no, he's a nice guy.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll be back with you guys on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.